Hello, internet family. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's doing well. It's not morning like it usually is, but boy, have I got something for us today. So I'm at work, and the Lord is really speaking to me over, how would I even put this into words? Over copying the original instead of copying a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. So I make a point quite as often as I can think to do it, of reminding anyone who's listening to me teaching anything, or especially when I'm on a platform, with a microphone. I like to remind, I don't know why I keep touching my face. I like to remind everyone that I am not the source. To look to the original, to look to the Word of God, to look to God Himself, to Jesus, to truly understand Him and not me. Because just like any other human, I am likely to misrepresent or misinterpret or miscommunicate something, or someone listening to me may misunderstand something. There's always that likelihood from anybody speaking, and that's important. So today we have, let me see if I can show you, stop making the video long. We have at work a file system, if you would call it that. We are in the middle of moving still. Things. So that's all of those are log sheets for things that we do, classes, activities, service projects, whatever it may be. Those are different pieces of paper that log different categories of things, and we go through quite a lot of them, especially certain categories. So there's this one, and this is so clean, it's so beautiful, it makes my heart happy. This is our project one, and I'm gonna go ahead and be honest that this morning when I reached into the folder to get the sheets to log the 2 service projects we had today and found that there were 0 in there, I got really angry for a second. Funny fact is that it was probably me that ran it dry, and didn't make copies in time. But either way, I was aggravated because somebody didn't make copies and yada yada. So I had to go into the drive in the computer and print off the original. Can you see how beautiful that is? Because that's the original, right? Printed off the computer. And when I saw that come out of the printer, and even when I was looking at it on the computer, I was like, that doesn't even look familiar to me. It's not even the same sheet I'm used to using, and this honestly isn't even as bad as the other employment ones were, but this is what our copier does when it's copied and copied and copied and copied and copied and ran through there so many times. And what's really crazy is, even though my boss has mentioned this to me a couple of times, I've just gotten so used to it that that's what the sheet looks like to me. That's what these things look like. I'm not used to them any other way anymore, even though I was here when we made the originals. We worked on these together, and we kind of designed them together, and I know what they're supposed to look like, but I got so used to copying the copy and copying that copy and copying that copy and that copy and that copy and that copy, that somehow we went from this to this, and I didn't even notice. And the Lord spoke so clearly to me on that. So when we're living for Jesus, when we're living a Christian life, when we're following the Word, whose Word? Who's showing us how to be a Christian? Who's showing us how to live like Jesus? Is it Jesus Himself, or is it a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy? If you're following what I'm saying, He spoke so clearly to me to make sure that I'm not emulating something that's misrepresenting Him. To make sure that I'm not building my life to look like something that isn't anything like the original. To make sure that when I'm structuring the things in my heart, in my soul, in my mind, in my life, that I'm looking to the source. That I'm not looking to a fake, to a fraud, to a burnt out copy, to somebody who doesn't know any, but whatever it may be. There's so many different ways and reasons that Jesus and the life that He has for us can be misrepresented, and it's so easy and so mainstream to fall into that trap for someone to believe that they're living a Christian life, to believe that they're following Christ, and to be following a fraud or a bad likeness. Since she's interrupting me and making me nervous, everybody say hi to Wanda. Hi. Now I lost my train of thought, but I think I made my point already. So the point being, don't make a copy of a copy. If you're going to try and emulate something, let it be the actual Word of God. Let it be the real truth and the real Jesus. You guys have a blessed rest of your Thursday.